Imagine looking down at Earth from orbit, watching the vast blue expanse that covers nearly 3/4 of our planet. Now, imagine all of it flashing into a massive, blinding wall of white steam in a single second. Down on the ground, the roaring waves completely vanish. Where miles of deep, churning water once stood, there is suddenly nothing but an endless, dead desert of salt and dry dust. In that first minute, thousands of massive cargo ships and military carriers instantly lose their buoyancy, plummeting into dry oceanic trenches and smashing against underwater mountain ranges. Billions of creatures, from massive breaching whales to microscopic plankton, are suddenly stranded on this dry floor, suffocating under the heavy atmosphere. Without water to filter oxygen or support their physical weight, the trillions of organisms that power the ocean's nutrient cycles simply stop breathing. In less than 5 minutes, the biological engine that has stabilized Earth's chemistry for eons is silenced. The sudden disappearance of the water reveals the scarred floor of the planet. But this new desert isn't where the story ends. The true apocalyptic threat to humanity isn't the empty trenches below, but the location where all that water has gone, up into the sky. 97% of all the water on Earth has instantly transformed from a liquid ocean into an atmospheric gas. This gas is water vapor, and molecule for molecule, it traps heat more efficiently than almost any other greenhouse gas in the universe. Under normal conditions, Earth maintains a delicate, manageable amount of moisture in the air. Now, a quintillion gallons of steam have been violently injected into the atmosphere all at once. This overwhelming concentration overwrites the existing atmospheric chemistry, replacing our breathable air with a hyper-dense fog. By trapping all of this moisture directly above our heads, the planet has created a massive thermal seal. Anyone who survived the initial evaporation is trapped underneath it. High above this new cloud layer, intense solar radiation from the sun continues to blast the Earth, easily piercing straight through the white steam. But while the vapor lets that light travel down to the surface, it behaves entirely differently when that energy tries to escape. The steam acts like a massive atmospheric one-way mirror. As the ground warms up, it radiates thermal energy back toward space. Instead of passing cleanly through the clouds, that heat hits the water vapor and is immediately deflected back down to the surface. This temperature gauge tracks the rapidly accumulating heat. The trapped radiation forces the Earth's average global temperature to violently jump from 15 degrees Celsius to over 60 degrees Celsius. This lethal heat wave bakes the entire surface of the planet in less than 24 hours, with a constant intake of solar energy and absolutely zero physical mechanism to vent it back into space, turning the surface of the Earth into a literal furnace. Once the surface temperature crosses that critical threshold, the destruction enters a secondary phase. Every drop of liquid water left on land reaches its boiling point. Massive freshwater ecosystems like the sprawling Amazon River and the Great Lakes rapidly evaporate, injecting even more steam directly into the atmospheric blanket. Surrounding those dried-out riverbeds, the 60-degree heat quickly bakes lush vegetation until millions of square miles of timber are bone dry. The extreme heat ignites these massive forests. Continent-spanning wildfires tear across the globe, pumping massive volumes of ash directly into the boiling storm above. Normally, you would expect a heavily saturated atmosphere to eventually cool down, condense, and release all that water as heavy rain. But the ground temperature is so phenomenally hot that any raindrops falling from the clouds hit a wall of heat and vaporize mid-air, long before they can touch the soil. The heat creates more steam, which violently traps even more heat, feeding a permanent, inescapable cycle. This is the precise definition of a runaway greenhouse effect. Fast forward a few months, and the skies are permanently locked in suffocating layers of gray vapor. During this time, the carbon dioxide pouring out of the global wildfires has nowhere to go. Without the oceans to absorb those carbon emissions, the atmosphere becomes increasingly toxic. Stripped of its oceans, our beautiful home undergoes a complete structural collapse, transforming into a scorching, boiling twin of Venus. Humanity, along with every terrestrial animal and plant, is eventually suffocated and burned to ash. Our vast oceans perform a constant, critical planetary function. They serve as the active cooling system, the heart and the lungs of a living world. Without that thin layer of blue water managing our global temperature, Earth is simply another dead, scorched rock drifting in the dark void of space.